For the Icesi University, it is important to have spaces where students can experience a feel for what their careers will look like in the real world. Within the School of Engineering and Design, there are different rooms, laboratories, equipment, and materials conditioned to fulfill this purpose. Here we will present the locations that the Industrial Engineering Program students can have access to.
Students can use this automation room freely by asking the professor or collaborator to book it. Access is granted through the main door that will be found unlocked. Classes as system thinking, life cycle engineering, electrotechnics, and some professional electives are taught in this room. Professors carry out playful practices in this space, which is supported by different automation equipment while bringing students closer to the reality and also to some specific technologies. This space is intended to develop Industry 4.0. The equipment in this space consists of one 50-inch TV, 10 work tables, 35 work chairs, one computer, 8 boards for connections, PLC, one robotic arm, one video beam, one mobile board, and a space on the wall that works as a board. The space features a glazed cement floor, air conditioning, easy access, mobile electrical connections, and corresponding safety standards. In addition, the EHS office develops an emergency map and evacuation routes to ensure the well-being of the community. This room has one fire extinguisher subject to monthly checkups, a labeled exit door, fire detection system, and fire sprinklers. For using this room to perform certain practices, students shouldn't have any additional safety standards besides following the proper and adequate use of the equipment. In the case that require using the robotic arm and the connection boards, students might only use them when either laboratory assistant or professor is present. Other elements available for use in this space are the Lego Mindstorm and the feature technique. Students can use this computer lab freely by asking the professor or collaborator to book it. Access is granted through the main door that will be found unlocked. Discrete simulation, stochastic processes, and some professional electives are the assigned classes to this computer lab, dedicated to industrial modeling needs. The software used are Flexim, Ample, Lingo, Excel, UpQuest, CimaPro, SolidWorks, among others. The capacity of the room is 27 students. This space features a glazed cement floor, air conditioning, a smoke detector, fire suppression system, easily accessible mobile electrical connections, and corresponding safety standards. In addition, the EHS office develops an emergency map and evacuation routes to ensure the well-being of the community. This room has a signposted emergency exit door, and students don't need any additional safety standards besides following the proper and adequate use of equipment. In this space, to eat or enter food is not allowed.
To enter the Interactive Practices classroom, students book time through the system with the help from a professor or the lab assistant. Students can use this space freely depending on the corresponding class. Access is through the main door of the classroom, which will be unlocked if it was booked. The classes that are taught in this interactive practice room are Introduction to Industrial Engineering, Processes and Procedures, Facilities Layout, and some professional electives. Professors use this space for the development of active learning practices, such as production line simulations and development of activities supported by the equipment and games such as Lego. These activities allow students to simulate scenarios that are closer to industrial reality, where they can apply what they have learned through the curriculum. The equipment in this space consists of 449 TV sets, 7 work tables, 30 work chairs, 1 computer, and 4 mobile boards. As part of the Classroom 101 end, there is an industrial kitchen designed for practices simulating food chain operations. This area can only be used with prior booking from a professor, and the use of this area is not allowed for students by themselves. This space has similar conditions to an industrial kitchen, and it is used for active learning practices using food, and it is also used to teach how industrial engineering could be applied in this sector. The equipment available consists of 2 microwave ovens, 1 blender, 1 dicer, 1 4-place stove, 1 fridge, 7 stainless steel tables, 1 dishwasher, and 1 precision scale. In addition, it has a polished concrete floor with no corners, hand sanitizing area, smoke detector, and a fire emergency system. The interactive practice launch has a safety standards, and the EHS office developed an emergency plan and evacuation routes to ensure the well-being of the community. This room has 1 extinguisher that is monthly check-up and 1 emergency exit. For using this room, students are required to use properly the equipment and receive the training for this. Students do not require any additional safety standards. To leave this space, the entrance door has the exit sign indicating the place to exit of the room and the evacuation route. The whole space has a polished concrete floor and Wi-Fi connections for students to use, as well as air conditioning. Next to Classroom 101 end is Classroom 102 end, or the logistics classroom. Floor conditions are the same as in Room 101 end. These 2 rooms are connected through a sliding door through which you can access, or through an external door that goes directly into this space. No particular class is taught in this room because of its size. However, it is used as a complementary space for interactive practices or simulations to include the logistics operations such as picking or the warehouse practices. Here you will find the following equipment: an electric conveyor belt, a double shelf, a single shelf, 1 mobile shelf with plastic drawers, a 65-inch TV, 2 mobile conveyor belts, and 2 RFID antennas. Just like in Classroom 101 end, this space has the emergency map from the EHS office and its exit sign located at the entrance. To enter the research projects room, students can book it through the system. Regularly, this room is not used for class. This room is typically used for meetings or used as a working space for research projects. Access to enter is through the main door of the room, activated through an access card. This card is kept by the lab assistant, or in case of prior booking, the assistant loans the card to the person responsible for it, who must return it at the end of the session that was booked. To leave this space, people should press a green exit button and the door will open automatically. This room has 5 workspaces designed for research projects or study rooms for students. In addition, there is a storage room. The equipment in this space consists of 3 work tables, 14 chairs with rollers, 12 chairs, 2 mobile boards, and a 65-inch smart screen. In addition, at each of the 4 study rooms, there is a table and 2 chairs available for students. This room has an exit door that is properly labeled, as it is the evacuation route. When using this space to perform academic practices, the students don't require any additional safety standards besides following the proper and adequate use of the equipment. The general space features a polished concrete floor, a smoke detector, a fire emergency system, Wi-Fi connection, and air conditioner.
El Laboratorio de Electrónica, Electricidad y Magnetismo está ubicado en el 5º piso del edificio L. Cuenta con un sistema de control de acceso. Cada uno de los profesores con clases asignadas en este espacio posee una tarjeta de proximidad para el ingreso. Los estudiantes pueden hacer uso del espacio en horarios por fuera de clase. Para ello, deben realizar la reserva con la secretaria del departamento y se les presta una tarjeta para el acceso temporal. También, para préstamos de elementos, herramientas y equipos básicos, el estudiante debe realizar la solicitud con la secretaria para diligenciar un formato de préstamo que el jefe de departamento autoriza. Para el uso de equipos más especializados, los estudiantes deben estar siempre acompañados del profesor. Para salir se debe desbloquear la puerta oprimiendo el botón verde. El laboratorio dispone de un extintor y señales de riesgo eléctrico. El laboratorio consta de 12 puestos de trabajo para dar servicio a un máximo de 24 estudiantes. La superficie de las mesas son de material granito que es adecuado para el tipo de actividades que se realizan. Dispone de un videoproyector, un computador para el profesor y aire acondicionado. Cada puesto de trabajo tiene 4 tomacorrientes y un punto de red. Este espacio se comparte para prácticas de laboratorio de los cursos de electrónica y electricidad y magnetismo. En los armarios se guardan los diferentes elementos, instrumentos y kits de experimentación que se usan en las experiencias del curso de electricidad y magnetismo, como por ejemplo generador de Van der Graaf, kit de jaula de Faraday, electroscopios, electrómetros, medidores de campo magnético, tableros de circuitos eléctricos, entre otros. Antes de cada práctica, el profesor da a conocer los cuidados, riesgos y recomendaciones de uso de los equipos, así como los manuales de operación. Para las experiencias de los cursos de electrónica, se dispone de instrumentos de medición como osciloscopios y multímetros, así como fuentes de voltaje y generadores de señal, también dispositivos embebidos, sensores y actuadores. El laboratorio de física está ubicado en el 5º piso del edificio L. Cuenta con un sistema de control de acceso. Cada uno de los profesores con clases asignadas en este espacio posee una tarjeta de proximidad para el ingreso. Los estudiantes pueden hacer uso del espacio en horarios por fuera de clase. Para ello deben realizar la reserva con la secretaria del departamento y se les presta una tarjeta para el acceso temporal. También, para el préstamo de elementos, herramientas y equipos básicos, el estudiante debe realizar la solicitud con la secretaria para diligenciar un formato de préstamo que el jefe de departamento autoriza. Para el uso de equipos más especializados, los estudiantes deben estar siempre acompañados del profesor. Para salir, se debe desbloquear la puerta oprimiendo el botón verde. El laboratorio dispone de un extintor y señales de riesgo eléctrico. El laboratorio de física está distribuido con 6 mesas de trabajo y una capacidad total de 24 estudiantes, 4 estudiantes por mesa. Cuenta con un videoproyector, un computador para el profesor y aire acondicionado. El laboratorio dispone de los equipos y accesorios que permiten realizar las prácticas del laboratorio de cursos de física mecánica a nivel universitario. En el computador del profesor se tiene instalado el software para analizar datos y gráficos. Para las prácticas se usan sistemas de adquisición de datos que tienen interfaz a varios tipos de sensores como acelerómetros, medidores de fuerza, velocidad para tomar datos en diferentes escenarios como mesas de fuerza, rampas para movimiento parabólico y conservación de energía. Equipos de medición de torque, mesa para estudio de momento de inercia, sistema de resortes, sistema para el estudio de ondas y oscilaciones, carril para el estudio de choques y colisiones y demás implementos y accesorios. También los estudiantes usan en sus equipos de cómputo software libre como Tracker para realizar análisis de datos mediante captura de video. Se cuenta con instrumentos como cronómetros, dinamómetros, flexómetros, entre otros instrumentos y equipos.
Este es el laboratorio de química. Para ingresar al laboratorio se necesita una tarjeta y estamos apoyados por un auxiliar que controla el espacio. El ingreso se hace obligatoriamente con bata de laboratorio, gafas de seguridad, zapato cerrado y pantalón largo. No se puede usar maquillaje ni joyas y el cabello debe estar recogido. Igualmente, el laboratorio cuenta con una ducha de emergencia a la que cada 15 días se le hace revisión. Esto se hace por temas de seguridad y rectificar su funcionamiento. En este espacio se llevan a cabo las prácticas de apoyo del curso de Laboratorio de Química para el programa de Ingeniería Industrial. Para el programa de Ingeniería Bioquímica se tienen 3 cursos de química: química general, bioquímica, química orgánica. Este laboratorio cuenta con un aforo de 24 estudiantes. En el laboratorio, el estudiante tendrá la oportunidad de poner a prueba lo aprendido en el salón de clase y de adquirir destrezas necesarias para manipular utensilios, vidriería y equipos de laboratorio. Se insiste fuertemente en el uso de los utensilios de seguridad para manipular sustancias químicas en el caso que aplique. Sin embargo, para el curso de Ingeniería Industrial, este uso es mínimo. El estudiante debe cumplir con todas las normas de comportamiento, buenas prácticas de seguridad e higiene. En ningún momento debe hacer algo que lo exponga a sí mismo o a sus compañeros del laboratorio. Los equipos de este espacio son mesa del profesor, silla para el profesor, 3 mesas de superficie quimiotop, 5 butacas, un computador y 3 recipientes de basura. El espacio cuenta con piso de cerámica, aire acondicionado, conexiones eléctricas, kit de derrame, extracción aérea, extracción axial y cabinas de extracción. Además, la oficina de SOMA desarrolla un mapa de riesgo y planes de acción para asegurar el bienestar de la comunidad. Este salón cuenta con un extintor al que se le realizan revisiones mensuales, una puerta de salida señalizada y un detector de humo. Para salir del espacio deben presionar el botón verde que está a la derecha de la puerta y con eso la puerta automáticamente se abre.
The Design Workshop is a space created to facilitate and complement student learning. Here they can carry out learning activities with production machinery, materials, and techniques. Considered as an area of creation, it is conditioned with electric, manual, and industrial tools. The most commonly used materials in this space are wood, agglomerated boards and derivates, metal, resin, ceramics, and some polymers. Students from the Industrial Design, Interactive Media Design, and Industrial Engineering programs can have access to the Design Workshop. According to the intended class or the academic activity that requires it, access is granted through the main door, which is controlled by the laboratory assistant. At first, students must identify themselves using their student ID and be wearing the overall, closed shoes, and personal protective elements, glasses, face mask, and earplugs. The course given at the Design Workshop is Manufacturing Processes. Students who make use of the workshop receive training about the use of equipment and machinery. This initial training is carried out by the course professor and lab assistant. In addition, the Hazard Risk Insurance Company ARL and the EHS office also provide a safety talk. Students and professors use this space for experimentation, construction, testing, and development of projects by means of construction dynamics, manipulation of instruments, tools, machinery, equipment, different application resources, transformation techniques, and processes for different materials that allow to transform ideas into projects. The workshop has a total area of 700 square meters over 2 floors and distributed in the following areas. Workstool area. This space is the most important for the student as it becomes the center of operations. The bench or work table will allow you to support, assemble, and organize the materials. If it requires a different machine or process, you can shift position depending on the activity or requirement. Machine area. This area consists of industrial electrical machinery for the processing of raw materials. Cutting, polishing, drilling, lathe for wood and metal, welding and thermoforming are carried out with bandsaws, miter saws, lathes, milling machines, and drills. Paint booth. Space for finishing and coating practices. In this space, there is lighting, airline, extraction systems, and filters for particles. CNC machine zone and digital manufacturing. The digital manufacturing area features laser cutting equipment, CNC router, CNC milling machine, and 3D printers. In general, the Design Workshop has power cutting, machining and finishing machinery, manual and power tools, measuring devices, painting, welding and metal processing equipment, cleaning systems, industrial safety equipment, and workbenches. The equipment found in this space is the following: 3D printers, one 3D printer with manual washing station and curing chamber, one thermoforming unit, one cutting plotter, one CNC laser cutter, one 4-axle CNC milling machine, two 3-axle CNC milling machines, two band saws, two miter saws, one delta bench circular saw, and two band disc sanders, one jet industrial dust collector, one electric brush for wood, two jet lathes for wood, one metal lathe, one column drill, one arc welder, one bench grinder, one bender, one electric oven for ceramic pieces, one industrial vacuum cleaner, one air compressor, power tools, handbooks, and various measuring instruments. The space features a reinforced concrete floor, electrical connections, and corresponding safety standards. In addition, the EHS office developed a risk map and action plans to ensure the well-being of the community. This room includes 3 extinguishers that are subject to monthly checkups and a signposted exit door.
At Icesi, we seek continuous improvement of our facilities and integration of new technologies that contribute to the development of the future Icesi graduates.